By the authority vested in me by the Senate of York University, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa admitto te ad gradum. Congratulations. Thank you so much. In the center here.
Chancellor McMurtry, President Shukri, members of the Senate, Dean Horvat, Professor Westney, members of the faculty of the Schulich School of Business and visiting professors from Kellogg, as well as York University, and of course today's graduates, good morning. I consider myself singularly fortunate and perhaps a bit undeserving of the Honorary Doctorate of Laws bestowed on me this morning. Honorary doctorates are usually accorded to note accomplishment and not study. Convocation ceremonies take place to honor study with the expectation of accomplishment, except that our graduates today have in many ways already accomplished a great deal in their business and personal lives. So brought together, there is indeed always a symmetry to these events. To the graduates, I want to say that you are, each one of you, the most fortunate of people. You have prevailed in meeting one of the most challenging academic tests to be found at one of the best business schools in the world, Kellogg Schulich. Indeed, as President Shukri reminded us, the quality of this, of your degree and the business schools has once again been highlighted in the international media. Your accomplishments are the result of your efforts, but also those of this esteemed university and business school and the professors who taught you. But you are singularly fortunate, and indeed unusually fortunate as well, because you will be pursuing your various careers during what is already and evidently one of those great historical and transformational turning points in history. 2 weeks ago, The Economist magazine flagged something truly illustrative of our world in motion. During the late summer, at a time when the Italian government could barely get enough buyers for its very high interest bonds, the demand for ultra-low interest Chinese government bonds was oversubscribed by a factor of 4. Now, there are many ways to describe the shift in world economic power, and this is a particularly neat and tidy one. On a PPP basis, the IMF says that by 2013, in 24 months, emerging economies' output will surpass that of developed economies. Collectively, they already have twice the foreign reserves socked away compared to the developed West. Tied to dynamic growth rates are efficiencies of globalization and the unstoppable progress in computing power and communications technologies. These developments become incredible generators of opportunity, comparable to those that poured forth during the Industrial Revolution. This is the world that is welcoming you, graduates, as you emerge with your fresh Kellogg Schulich degrees and you begin the next stage of your lives. And I have more good news for you, the eventual economic recovery of the West. John Eikenberry at Princeton recently wrote, "Wealth and power are moving from the North and the West to the South, and the old order, dominated by the United States and Europe, is giving way to one increasingly shared with non-Western rising states." Well, I agree with the latter part of this, that indeed the 21st century, already a decade old, will have to adapt to many more sources of international power. But I, for one, disagree profoundly with the first part, the zero-sum game idea that wealth and power are moving away from the North and the West. The rise of China, India, Southeast Asia, Brazil, and so forth takes nothing away from the immense institutional, social, intellectual, spiritual, free enterprise, and scientific wealth of the West, that nexus of values, curiosity, and energy that made us what we are. The rise of Asia and the BRICS makes these civilizational strengths all the more valuable as heritage and provider of forward dynamic. So the rise of the emerging economies should not be a call to abandon the ship and all move to Shanghai. It's rather raising the game to another level. Certainly, we can no longer pretend that the West will call all of the shots. Asia and others are newly at the table, and they will remake many of the rules. We have to adjust to that and make it work for us. Indeed, it is an awareness this awareness that probably explains why I'm on this stage this morning. The vantage point offered by my assignment as Canadian High Commissioner to India provided a front row seat to observe firsthand the fast lane of India's economic expansion. It also permitted me to reflect on the vast wealth of knowledge and experience that Canadians have accumulated to develop our own society and find ways to connect India to Canada. That is also, of course, what York University and the Schulich School of Business have done, crossed borders and linked the emerging and our world. Certainly, circumstances of both time and place favored this development. But an essential ingredient on the road to success has been the confidence of Dean Horvath and the Schulich School and York University that such binary, naturally beneficial and mutually beneficial connections could be made. Confidence is a great driver of change. During almost 40 years of diplomatic life in Asia, I have become convinced that one of the greatest drivers of the rise of Asia and the emerging economies can be found in the confidence of people to change their lives for the better. National confidence contributes to economic performance as a forward engine of change. I've seen this in Japan in the 1970s and 80s, in Korea in the 90s, and in both China and India this past decade. Nothing succeeds like success. In the emerging economies, confident people overcome obstacles such as bad infrastructure, immature legal, financial, and business frameworks, corruption, labor constraints, authoritarianism, and bad governance, problems that we in Canada have, by and large, learned to manage. Confident people take risks, invest, start new businesses, encourage their kids to obtain a good education, try new technologies and management approaches, spend money on R&D, and do the myriad things that collectively move a society forward. It is your duty, graduates, to bring the confidence that you no doubt feel today on an individual basis to your future business and workplaces and inspire those around you. This is not a call to become mindless Pollyannas. It's rather a statement, and here I'm echoing President Shukri, that your roles in business and other institutional settings are not only to satisfy your personal ambitions, but to contribute to the success of the broader community. Thank you very much for the privilege of being awarded this honorary doctorate. And thank you, York University and the Schulich School of Business, for providing our graduates today with the means to realize their ambitions and to contribute to society. Thank you very much.